I would like to call the press conference to order. My name is Thomas Ash, and I'm a documentary filmmaker and a member of the FCCJ. It is my honor to be the moderator for today's press conference. Please note that we do have simultaneous interpretation for those who are in attendance. Our YouTube channel will be streaming the English only, although after the event we will be uploading the Japanese audio of this. I was going to introduce our speakers for today, but I think because we're all running a little bit late, I'm going to forgo that and maybe please ask you to introduce yourselves. Prior to that, though, I actually have a present for Michaela Clavell. Let me just run to that part. We have a special gift from the Foreign Correspondents Club of Japan. 43 years ago, on October 21st, your father, James Clavell, was a speaker here at a press conference. And he subsequently became one of our members. And we found some photographs from
How lovely.
From that time.
Very precious. Oh my God. Oh, it's my father.
Yes, I think we can see it here on the screen.
Yeah, he would have liked to have been remembered at this age, too. It was a nice young age.
And we have found some other ones from our archive, and so here's a CD with
Thank
some
you
more
so
photographs.
much. That is very kind. I'm very touched. My whole family would be very touched. He had a lovely time. He actually talked quite a bit about the foreign, the meeting here that day and the interviews, and he had a lot of fun with the correspondence. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Dad.
I would like to, we'll start with comments from Justin Marks, who's the co-creator, executive producer, and the writer of Shogun.
Yes, my name is Justin Marks, showrunner of Shogun, which I co-created for television with my wife, Rachel, sitting to my left. We're very honored to be here today. Shogun, for us, is a series about how we encounter other cultures, and how we encounter each other when we meet, how we encounter ourselves. We think that the spirit engendered by James Clavell's book that we adapted is a spirit of common respect, a spirit of looking to each other with curiosity and gratitude for what brings us together and our differences as well. So we were very honored to join with the great Hiroyuki Sanada on this 5-year journey for just the two of us and to be here today. Thank you for having us.
Rachel Kondo, who is the co-creator, executive producer, and the writer of Shogun.
Good morning. Morning? Good afternoon? Still jet lagged. Yes, just to echo what Justin said, we are, this is just beyond our wildest dreams to be here. It's a bit surreal, to be honest. It's been a long time in coming. And when I think back to when we first started this process, we came to it fairly naively, and thank goodness for that, because we wouldn't have the courage to start if we knew how long and how difficult and challenging it could be. All that said, I marvel at what it is today. It goes far beyond what we could have ever imagined, and it is owing, I was going to say in large part, but no, in all parts, owing to this man here and this other man here and this young lady here. So we're so honored to be here. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. Michaela Clavell, please.
Hello, I'm the daughter of James Clavell right here. Thank you for the photo and the reminder. You know, he took great pride in his work and what he wrote, and that he gave value for the money that people purchased his books with. It was really important to him as a person that what he wrote was of quality and complexity. And I feel very, very proud and thankful to these people among all the hundreds of others that brought that dream to reality for him, because it's a beautiful story. It's been told magnificently, and thank you all up here for each of your parts. But he'd be proud, and for me, that was my job to try and see it made in a way that would make him proud of what his work was, and I think you have. So, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Hiroyuki Sanada, who serves as the producer on Shogun and stars as Lord Yoshi Toranaga.
Hi, I'm Hiroyuki Sanada. I play Lord Yoshi Toranaga, and then I've done produce as well. It was my first experience, and I really enjoyed playing this Toranaga role, and also producing was an amazing experience. I thought this is a great story to introduce our culture to the world, so I tried to make authentic as much as possible as a producer. And then luckily, we could hire Japanese samurai period drama specialist for each department. So I believe it's going to be a big step toward the future for me, for industry, and for the Japanese filmmakers and actors. So I hope people enjoy this show, and thank you for having us today.
Thank you. Cosmo Jarvis stars as John Blackthorne. Please.
Hello. Yes, I'm Cosmo Jarvis. I play John Blackthorne. He's an English sailor who is aboard a Dutch ship and in 1600 washes up in this country, and despite finding himself in difficult situations becomes acquainted with the people of the time and the culture of the time. And yes. And yeah, I'm very honored to have been afforded the opportunity to have collaborated in any way on this project.
Thank you very much. Anna Sawai stars as Lady Mariko.
Hi, thank you for having us. It is truly a surreal feeling to be here in Japan promoting a jidaigeki, which was produced by FX and is about to be shown to a worldwide audience. I really think it's the first truly authentic and accurate show that shows our history and culture and our people. So I'm very excited to share this with the Japanese community. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I had the honor of watching a preview screener. I've seen the first 5 episodes, and it is just absolutely brilliant. It is gorgeous. I mean, every part of it, the story and the dialogue, and even the way that it's been subtitled, the costumes, the sets, everything is just so brilliant. I cannot say enough about it. I wonder if we could talk to our writers about, for the first question, about the process of taking this book, which is so famous and so beloved, and has once been made into a miniseries, and sort of bringing that into the future, into a new generation of people who are going to discover the story and discover the book maybe for the first time.
It's a great question. I think we were very aware, Rachel and myself, coming into this, that of the legacy of the book and its prior adaptation, its impact on American culture, its impact on world culture. In 1975, when it came out, I think, speaking as an American, it really took great strides to bring Japan to American awareness. At that time, sushi was not commonly on every street corner in the United States. These were all new things. And we thought a lot about, if we were going to do it again, we would not have that novelty working in our favor anymore. We'd have to come to some new understanding of why it was important to tell this story today, this East meets West story. And what jumped out at us and really escalated with the collaboration with Hiroyuki Sanada was this idea that if we're going to do a story about East meets West, we need to do a production that was East meets West. We needed to find a new language. Our original conversations were all about how has Hollywood, what mistakes have we made in our cultural past over the last several decades when trying to represent Japan, through our industry, and how can we avoid that? How can we change the means of production? And that began to be very exciting to us, to come up with that new language, a language of common respect, and a way of trying to maybe surprise audiences with what Hollywood and Japan can do together.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Going off of what Justin said, we do all live in the after effects of the book. And it was a groundbreaking moment in that the book came out, and for us in the West, the landscape was changed. And so it became quite a grave responsibility for us as writers to approach this iconic tome of a book. And I think what we ended up finding was, the question was, how could we update it for today, right? And what we ended up discovering was that all the questions that we wanted to ask were first asked by James Clavell himself, excuse me. And it was those questions that we had to bring into today's conversation. And I'm speaking on a larger scale, but finding the braid of the three characters within the book was always what we had to stick to when it came to curating, right? Because you can't include everything. A 1,200-page book, you cannot condense it into a 10-hour miniseries, and so limited series. So yeah, I'm rambling. I apologize, but it was quite a responsibility.
Would you like to speak to that as well as executive producer? Add anything?
To pick up on what Rachel was saying, I think the book is a big book and it's complex and has many layers. So what your challenge was to what do you pick out and what do you leave behind? Which of the threads of the story do you elaborate on and what do you leave behind? And in doing that, I think the challenge is to get the important elements. And that sometimes is subtext in a book, which you have to make come alive in a television series or in a film. It's the invisible things sometimes in a book that capture your imagination or provoke your thought about life and death with honor, which was a large theme of the book. How do you live well? How do you die well? How do cultures see this and practice in this? So just to elaborate on that, it's a complex decision, and it evolves even in real time. I think that you all, like Hiro, Cosmo, Anna, they all brought moments to scenes that perhaps were not in the original script, but you talk about it, it births more ideas. You go back, you pull some things out. So it's an evolving process, a complex process, and they just carried it off like it was effortless. So that was a real honor to watch. Yeah.
Thank you. I would like to open the floor to questions, beginning first with Working Press. If you could please state your name and affiliation, and please limit to one question.
Hello, Anthony with ABC News. As you said, it was a very important novel. It changed the world. I'm wondering, with that in mind, did you have some kind of secret weapon on how you were going to tackle making the series? What was your secret weapon in matching or even surpassing the legacy? Thank you.
I will do it by means of introducing our secret weapon, sitting right here. The choice to work with Sanada-san, not just as star of our show, but as producer, was really, at first it seemed like a no-brainer. We're in the presence of an actor who has been working in the Japanese film industry since he was a child, and has been working in the American film industry for the last few decades. Of course, he should be someone involved as a producer who could kind of help to inform us as to the cultural details that we need to get into. What began to happen in this collaboration is that I don't think we realized just how many departments we would hire from Japan, how many advisors, cultural advisors, Shosa movement advisors, language advisors, costume, hair,
Obi tires.
makeup, obi tires. It would take to tell this story right, and really, I see, yes, this is Toranaga right here, but he's really our producer, really the person who is there every day, whether he was shooting or not, to ensure that, because the standards have raised to telling these stories today, that what we'd be doing would be something as authentic as we possibly could. So maybe, Hiro-san, if you want to speak to what your process was as producer on the show.
We don't have any secret weapon, but I believe our teamwork was the most important secret weapon, East meets West dream project. And then, like he said, we had a, specialist for the samurai drama making, and every department has a consultant and advisors, and on set every day we checked every detail on set, decoration, how to wearing kimono, even for the extras, checking everything. And also we check the monitor, every single shot, and then try to make authentic. But we had a great collaboration between Western team and Japanese team, and that was incredible. Making of Shogun itself was a big drama and a great model to the world, I think. If people work together, no matter how hard and difficult, we can make miracle together. So this is a great message to the world, especially for now, I believe. That was our secret weapon.
Thank you very much. Sir.
Thank you very much. And I am from Japanese media. I am from Nico Nico. I have a question to Sanada-san. On the 18th, when we had the Japanese premiere, Sanada-san said that as for your role, because this is where we are now, this is exactly the hero that we want to present without sort of exposing the story itself. Can you tell a little bit more about what you meant? Yes, I will respond in Japanese. I do not want to spoil anything, but what I wanted to say is that when I took the role, why I want to play this role, when I thought about that meaning behind it, the model of Toranaga, which is Ieyasu Tokugawa, the great achievement that he had accomplished itself should be introduced to the rest of the world. It's because now we're facing the current situation with lots of wars and lots of struggle. The human beings does not really seem to change, but the Ieyasu had completely halted the battling age, and he had created a very peaceful world for many hundreds of years. That type of hero is exactly what we need now. And that is the thought why I wanted to take this role. And that was really the driving force me to take this role. And so after we watch everything, and I do hope that people receive something important and then think about it and to be able to utilize something that they receive for a day-to-day life. And I really hope that the time will come, and that is the reason why I took this role.
Thank you.
Morning. My name is Richard Susilo. I'm from Tribun News Kompas, the largest media in Indonesia. First, as an Indonesian, I would like to know when will be distributed in Indonesia, this movie, and also in ASEAN countries. And second question regarding to Mr. Sanada, have you got experience in Indonesia or offer for a job or together cooperation with Indonesian producer, whatever regarding to Indonesia? Thank you.
For the first question, I will defer to Disney to talk about release dates. It's our understanding that the goal for this show is to be as close to day and date around the world as we possibly can.
Did you want to speak to that? Yes. Can you? So next Tuesday. Okay. It will be around the world next Tuesday.
Correct.
Good. Same time. February 27th, around the world.
Streaming on Hulu in the United States, Disney Plus in all other countries, and in Latin America on Star Plus.
In Japan, Disney Plus, Star.
Okay. Thank you.
And I never been to Indonesia, but I heard that 1980 or 81, my first leading role movie called Shogun's Ninja. That made a big hit in Indonesia and #1 box office, I heard. So I wanted to visit, but I had no chance. But I hope I'd like to visit or working with Indonesian director or actors in the future. Yes, I hope so. ありがとうございました。
Thank you. We have some questions also coming in from online. This question is from Yvonne Wang from Mirror Media Taiwan, and the question is for Cosmo Jarvis. Mr. Sanada has a lot of acting experience in Japanese period dramas. Did you ask him for any advice? And please tell us how you prepared for your role.
Well, yes. I asked him many things throughout the process. He was, in general, a very omnipotent presence on set, and was always around, and guiding particularly more junior actors, and just creating a good environment to work in. And I would frequently confer with him about things that Blackthorn should have been learning, and if he was learning them correctly. And in terms of preparation for the role, it's a long story, but there was preparation, and I did it.
Yes, you did it.
Thank you. I urge everyone to watch this because it is just that preparation is evident. It's evident in a way that you don't think about it because it is so natural, and you all have become those characters, and it's just the world that you have created is just absolutely brilliant. Shall we ask some more questions? Sir.
共同通信の加藤とも
My name is Kato of Kyoto Tsushin. I have a question for Justin, Rachel. Is there any Japanese period films or TV series that you referenced or you looked at? Question for Sanada-san. Unfortunately, we don't see as many period work in Japan now being made, especially when it comes to television. And is there, what are your thoughts on where we are in terms of the Japanese industry and Japanese TV industry and period films, and whether this is a commentary of sorts from you?
For speaking for myself as a young American boy who was raised on jidaigeki, the films of Kurosawa, it, I think, was a big draw for why I wanted to sign on to help tell this story. I think we made a decision early on in this process that as Americans to take from references belonging to Japanese jidaigeki, whether it be NHK drama or Kyoto style, we felt that we wanted to be very careful and very respectful. We did not want to be appropriative of other styles that do not necessarily belong to us as an American culture. So what we really tried to do with the show was to find a common language, maybe a new style of East meets West that took from the best of both to try to bring the space outside of just its cultural dressing to the psychology of these characters, to the experience of what it was to be alive in this time, and then to allow the camera to find that space and explore that space from a very neutral eye, whether that related to the depiction of violence on screen. We neither wanted to celebrate nor condemn violence in any fashion in this show. It's a very important philosophy of mine as a filmmaker. We wanted to get closer to some sense of truth, which meant that I think it was very important to us to step outside of just genre and reference, but to speak to these characters as human beings first and foremost and service them that way.
Let me answer this in Japanese. I have, since I was a child, been part of Japanese period dramas and have learned much from my seniors. And I have always wanted to share and pass the baton onto my juniors. For half a century, the Japanese period storytelling has not changed that much, and the younger generation is not able to accept it. And then when you have a period story that becomes too westernized in its storytelling, a lot of the original period drama fans did not accept it, and that led to a negative spiral. But now, with younger talents, if they're inspired by this work, who wants to also create a period work, I feel like that is my way of saying thank you to the industry. And if talented, younger generation wants to work, try their hand overseas, I would love to be a bridge. And I think that is one of my missions.
Thank you. Anna, I was struck in your opening comments. You talked about telling our story. And I wonder if you could maybe expand a bit about that and maybe as it relates to your performance as well.
Right. Is this working? Is it on? Well, I've watched a lot of Western media. I grew up watching it, and there's so much more representation now, which is amazing. And people like Hiro really paved the way for us. So I'm so grateful for that. However, I've felt that Asian women, Japanese women, have been boxed into playing the sexy lady or the submissive lady or the one that does action. And I wanted to see more depth. I wanted to see myself in these characters, and it's always been a little bit hard because it didn't really feel like me. But I think Mariko really shows the inner struggles of Japanese women and what roots us, and a different kind of strength that has never really been shown in Western media. And so playing a figure like her that really reflects us meant so much to me.
Thank you. Anyone who hasn't already asked a question yet? If not, please.
Thank you for taking a second question from me. Shogun, it was set in a pivotal moment in Japanese history. And I think we're living in a pretty pivotal moment right now in world history. Do you hope that your work conveys any message to a global audience? Thank you.
I go back to Hiro-san. I thought said it really beautifully when it comes to this spirit that comes from the book, that's been around us for decades, whose lessons we still fail to learn time and time again. The lesson of encountering other cultures, other nations, with the spirit of generosity, to listen first and act later. These are all the themes and ideas that Shogun grapples with. These are all the themes and ideas that I mean it from the bottom of my heart that we grappled with throughout production. Production is a family. It's a family that has good days, and it's a family that has hard days. And we had hard days. We had weather, we had COVID, we had a cultural divide to bridge every single day. And when I think back to the experience that this crew, Canadian, American, Japanese, put together with each other, it was an experience where we spoke up when differences were found and problems were found, and we listened to each other. And I think that came from the message of the book, maybe without realizing it. And it's a message that I hope really the world can look to more today than ever before when it comes to trying to approach people with differences from a place of humility. I really think that's a message we need now more than ever.
Thank you. I kind of want to leave it there. It's right. It's a really. It feels like we've finished there. Maybe I could just ask one sort of frivolous question. I noticed in the screeners that it says season 1. Is there a season 2? I know the book is really told. I think. I admittedly I've only been able to watch 5 episodes, so I don't know how it ends. But is there a plan for a season 2?
I will answer this before anyone else gets a chance. No, we told the story of the book. Rachel and I were so taken by the last moments of the book, which, no spoilers, are exactly the last moments of this show. And it builds to a scale, this story is told on a very grand scale, but I like to say that the only scale that actually matters is the human scale, and it ends on a moment between two people, and that's where we where we see it ending, and we're very happy for it to end that way and very proud that we could tell the story of the book to its completion. So I don't know what we would do without the roadmap of a master storyteller kind of paving the way. It took us 5 years just to do it with that brilliant map. If you took that map away from us, we'd be just completely
It'd
at
be
sea.
50 years.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see you in 50 years, maybe.
Thank you so very much for your time and for sharing this beautiful story with us. As is our custom here at the Press Club, we have an honorary one-year membership for each of you. And so we do look forward to hopefully welcoming you back at some point soon. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you. The 10-part historical drama Shogun will premiere on the Disney Plus streaming service on February 27th. Thank you all so very much for your presence.